but don't let it discourage you. Don't overthink it. Nature grows and nature finds a way. We have officially entered the era on social media where all we hear about is, am I too late? Am I too late? Can I plant this? Did I wait too long? Peppers take too long? All that fun stuff. And I'm sure some of them, at least, you're tired of hearing, just like I am. And a lot of it is just the confusion. Everybody watches people like me on YouTube, and there are the extreme gardeners on YouTube as well that'll tell you all kinds of things, and some of it's myths, and a lot of it is things that haven't been tried, and I think that's what gets these rumors going. So today we're working on up-potting tomatoes, and if you haven't watched in the news, which I haven't, even though I am a huge purchaser of tomatoes in the wintertime, because my chickens get fresh tomatoes every day, and then all of a sudden they disappeared out of the stores. Even Walmart didn't have it. I've got City Market here and Safeway, and all those guys were out of tomatoes. It prompted me to check on Google, and guess what? Yeah, we have a big tomato shortage. AI on Google said that we're 80% down, I guess is the way to put it. We're only 20% of our normal supply. We've lost 80% of our supply, and it listed a bunch of different reasons, and the reasons really don't matter. One of the big ones, though, that I saw that did was freezes in Florida, where tomatoes come from, and some weather conditions in California. But what really matters out of all of it is we don't have the tomatoes, which is why everybody should be growing a garden in the first place. You don't have to grow a lot. It doesn't have to be hard. You can keep it simple, and I'm gonna show you how simple I do it. So come on in the grow house and let me show you what we're gonna do. First off, let's address all the noise in social media land. You're not too late. I'm in zone 7A, I guess, technically. If you really want to look at it, sometimes I think it's 6B, but the map has kind of migrated over the years, and it used to put me right on that border. So for all intensive purposes, let's say 7A. But I don't really believe that much in grow zones. I mean, yeah, it gives you a general idea, but what you really should be paying attention to is your soil temperature, which is why we are still, even a whole week after Mother's Day, in the greenhouse and not outside, because we just went through a week here in western Colorado where it got super hot in the 90s, and guess what? Next week we're supposed to drop into the mid to low 70s and drop below the 50s at night again. So be real careful and pay attention to your weather. Don't get caught up like a bunch of my friends and buy a whole bunch of starts and get them in the ground, and then they freeze even though they've got the chili prepper telling them not to do it. So, now, am I too late? You're not too late. In most grow zones, you are fine. So let's dispel any myths. You can plant seeds right now. You don't have to have plants like I do already. I started seeds a while back, yes. But tomatoes grow unbelievably fast. I'll be putting seeds in for the next few months just to consistently get them. The young plants produce better for me. And then if I start my early seeds, by the end of season, those plants look pretty sickly. They've had a long life for what they're normally used to. I know as humans we don't think it's a long life, but that was their intended life. So if you keep every month or so, plant a few more seeds, plant a few more seeds, you constantly have the younger plants producing all season. Now, don't overthink up-potting. Potting and up-potting does not have to be hard. This year, I went with 128 cell trays, or seed cell trays. Why did I do that? Because I got them for free on Facebook Marketplace. Plant in anything you have. Normally, I like to plant in these guys, the 4-inch seed cells, I guess. They're all connected in a sheet. I get them from Greenhouse Mega Store. You can use your solid tray underneath, so that way if you're in a windowsill or a greenhouse, or you have grow lights, or you need to pick it up and take it in the house because all of a sudden the temperature dips, you can do that. But I have a whole tray here, 128. I've already been working on them, so yeah, there's not quite 128 there, but they're all different tomatoes. So all I did was I took 2 rows at a time, and I did 2 rows of one tomato, 2 rows of another. And this year I'm actually gonna shy away from some of the heirlooms. I have always been an heirloom guy, but I'm telling you, the disease last year and just the pest problems and all the stuff I had going, although I did get a lot of tomatoes, it was not a good tomato year for me. So this time we're going to try some of the burpee hybrids that they have out there. Some of the tomatoes that that's bad stuff has been bred out of them supposedly. So we're going to test. So I have like Better Boy and Early Girl and all those. And I do trust burpee. You do know that I trust M.I. Gardner, so I do have a bunch of M.I. Gardner tomato seeds as well. And this year I'm going to try to experiment with some determinants, because I always grow indeterminates and they get gigantic, and I don't know, I'm real curious if a whole bunch of determinants just might be something for me. And it should be something you're experimenting with too, to find out what works for you. So check this out. You don't want to make this hard. The harder it is, the more you're going to despise gardening. People say gardening takes up too much time, and they're right in a lot of cases, but not this one. So all we're going to do is come over here, and if you just pull on the stem, and I'll bring you over and show you one. I keep these real wet because they're in the greenhouse and it gets hot in the greenhouse, so I keep the water under them so the roots can grow down into the water, but it'll just slide right out. That's a Roma tomato. Let me flip the camera around, and I apologize ahead of time for the fan noise, but I have 12-inch solar fans that take the hot air out of the greenhouse. And as long as the sun is hitting those solar panels back here, those fans are pulling. So it might get a little bit loud, but I do have a microphone on, and I'll try to keep it closer to me. So all I'm doing here, and I looked because my Romas, see, I've got a single tag. I go for the bigger ones and just pull. They do pop right out, which is something I was skeptical about, yes, with the 128 cell seed trays, but they worked out really good. Now let me show you how quickly and easily it should be for you to pull these up bottom and get along with your day. My advice to you is pick up a tote. Get you a tote. And all I do, and I know this isn't something anybody really wants to hear, but at the end of every season, and I've still got bags under the table, but at the end of every season, I dump all my excess bags into one bin, and then when I start my seeds the next year, I go through and just buy the Pro Mix and throw a whole bag of Pro Mix in there, mix it all up. You'll have compost, everything. It works. The Pro Mix is mostly to make it just light and fluffy. Then take your tray that you're going to up pot to. Again, we are not looking for perfection here. Just throw some handfuls in there. You don't want to waste time on this crap. Trust me, I don't want to waste time on this. But if you don't do it, then you're never going to get your plants potted out. And they're going to sit out here in the heat. You're going to neglect them. They're going to wilt. They're going to die. And then at the end of the season, you're going to wonder why you have no tomatoes. So make it easy. Just throw some soil. And it can be straight Pro Mix. Pro Mix for me works very well. It's very light. It's very fluffy. Both for seed starting, for young plants, and amazingly enough, taking them to full term too, if you want to go that way. Now, just go through and shake. Pat down a little bit, because we're about to set the tomato right on top. I don't play that game of poking little holes in each one. It takes too long. And plants are unbelievably resilient. So all we're going to do now is bring in the plant that we just pulled out. We're going to stick it in one of these. I think you can see that one in the camera. Just push it down in there and top it off. You want to make sure you pat that soil down so it gives that plant something to hold on to and stand up on. Same thing again, throw it in here, stick a bunch of soil all around there, and then compact it just like that. Now all kinds of things change, and you can actually go around, it doesn't matter, you can have 2 plants grow out of 1 plug. It happens, you miss some. Guess what? plant them both. So here is another way you can go. It's definitely one I recommend. They call it Industry 1 gallon. It's kind of like Baker's dozen. Industry 1 gallon is only about 3/4 of a gallon pot. But these are the same pots that you've seen in my other videos that I've showed you that you can grow tomato plants and pepper plants start to finish in a tiny little pot if you give them enough nutrients. But don't let it discourage you. Don't overthink it. Nature grows and nature finds a way. Stick the tomatoes in soil no matter what it is. It could be one of these. It could be the 4-inch pot. It could be solo cups. It could be a bucket. I don't care. If you never get it in the soil, you're never going to have the fruits at the end of the season. And think about how much we rely on tomatoes. I don't know about you, but I eat a lot of tomatoes. My chickens eat a lot of tomatoes. And I don't mean don't just think of the tomato in just the tomato form or a cherry tomato. Spaghetti sauce, your chilies, your crushed tomatoes, your stewed tomatoes, all that kind of stuff. If we start having a problem with the food supply in the world, which I do think in the future, I mean, I think we're slowly every year getting more and more closer to that. I do think eventually it's going to catch up, and even if it's just an inconvenience, I'm not saying the human race is going to die, but I am the chili prepper, so I prepare for that kind of stuff. You want to grow a bunch of tomatoes. They're super easy to grow. They don't take a whole lot of time or anything. They do take a lot of water, and you want to get that under control. Let me show you what we've got going here, because if you watch some of my early videos, even way before, this was like January, I think, I can't remember, I'll look at the tag. But I took seeds out of a Walmart tomato. Let me show you what those look like, because that's another way you can do it. And I'll show you what the early girls were that we up potted here, and we'll get you along with your day. First one, let's show you last week's video. I showed you how I was up potting some of my early girls into their own 3-inch pots. And look, just in a week, look at the difference of what they did. In just, I mean, these are the cheapest little things, sleeves. I'll go ahead and I'll link all this stuff. I'm not endorsing it, although you see I use it. Things can happen, they're cheap, but they've lasted me a long time. And these you can buy like 250 count for next to nothing, and just toss your soil in there. I'll try to remember to leave links to all this stuff in the description down below. Yes, they're my links. They go, of course, they count for me. I am an Amazon, or I guess I'm in the Amazon influencer program. No, I haven't made any money off of it. So don't hold that against me. But take a look at this. Now, I'm taking a whole different approach with these. These are those, I think it's called Musi or Musi. They were Musi or Musi Farms tomatoes from Walmart, and they're unbelievably consistent. They have a nice big round shape. They're all about the same. They come in like a 5-pack. They're like $2, something like that, $2 a pound. And I just did the video being curious of what happens if I didn't cure it, nothing. I cut them up for the chickens, and I stuck pieces of tomato in the soil, and here's what we've got. So yes, you can grow tomatoes no matter what. It's super easy. They're very resilient, and everybody should have a backyard full of them, in my opinion. Now, I know you were probably looking for some earth-shattering, guru technique, YouTube influence, whatever you want to call us out here, some great thing that I do different than anybody else. The only great thing that I do different than anybody else is I try to move a lot faster. We're busy. We don't have a lot of time to spend on this, and gardening can take a bunch of time. And obviously you've seen my setup. It does take me a lot of time. So I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time on up potting, or I'm just not going to get it done. I'm already a little bit behind where I should be anyway. And guess what? I'm still going to end with a ton of tomatoes. 128 seed cell tray is more than enough for most people for their entire garden. You could buy that one tray. I told you I got them for free. They're really cheap, and you could do a row of bell peppers and different kinds of tomatoes and onions or anything else you eat, you could put all in that one tray and get everything going and take it inside if it freezes and bring it back out. And you just got to keep that bottom tray watered or enough water in it. And it really doesn't take much of your time. And then you just pull them out and stick them in a bigger pot like what I showed you. And soon I'll be showing you putting them out in the garden. So don't overthink it. Don't fear it. Don't sweat it. You are not behind. We are so early in this season that you can just about plant everything. We will do one on peppers coming up soon too, and you'll be really surprised the things I have to say about that one. So always remember, you don't have to be a prepper to be prepared, and I will see you on the next one.